What's up, everybody? We are back for one more best of three tonight. I know we just watched the finals of this, but we still have third place to decide. And yeah, we're going to be getting into it real quick here. We have everybody in the server already. So it shouldn't be too much more of a delay of getting this going. But starting off here on Snakewater tonight is going to be the first map for our best of three. Really hoping to see a lot of aggression on these mids and a lot of explosive gameplay as well. Very explosive, class oriented as well. Yeah, just excited to see what these teams have ready for us. It's been a little bit of a tournament in terms of just gameplay, right? Even making it to this third place match is still definitely an achievement for a lot of these players.
Gonna have to agree. I mean, they might not win that Subway gift card, but they'll still be able to go home and say they took third place from this here cup. I mean, we've covered Snakewater earlier today, but we really didn't have the time to ask about anything of note that we might want to point out about Snake just before these teams are ready here. Is there anything you want to kind of have the viewers pay attention to as we go into this map here?
Definitely. I think that we really need to focus on how teams are willing to get into second and how teams are willing to get into last. I think that the preparation and the game plan of, what your last pushes look like, how you choose to break open second holds as well is so major on this map. So just really seeing what these teams have prepared and also the adjustments on the fly that are needed, to keep things fresh, to get like the really good mix-up play that catches the other team off guard. I think that that's going to be the main focus of, what's going to really decide which team is going to win overall, right? Because usually you'll look at logs, you'll see almost an even amount of player deaths on a map like this, right? Meds can usually play relatively safe if they're not caught out. So logs will look pretty even, and what it really does come down to is just the preparedness and, what you have cooked up for, mix-ups.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I think the thing that I kind of say about Snake is that your mids will kind of tell the story rather about how the rest of your game will go, or how the rest of that round will go. If you're kind of slow on that mid, you're typically going to show a pattern of being slow everywhere else. If you're a little bit more passive, you're usually going to have an easier time taking things. These are just patterns I've noticed that pretty much every team has kind of dealt with for as long as I've seen Snakewater. I mean, even my own teams have kind of dealt with that. But at the same time, if you wipe on mid, obviously you're going to get mid to lasted. But typically when you wipe on mid, your team is, super aggressive. And it kind of just means that you're tending to wipe more often when you take these fights. It kind of just they kind of just wipe like all over whenever they wipe on mids. It's odd.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're gonna have to really break down what the patterns are from these teams as well, who is really willing to do the early bombs and what the adjustment comes in mids afterwards, right? I mean, if stuff doesn't work out, then you really just have to either change up what your bomb is, choose to play really solid here on these mid points. We are going live here, so we're going to be going into this from first mid to actually see what it looks like. My eyes are definitely going to be on this Demo Man, right? I mean, Demo Man rollouts are super important for getting into Snakewater, getting that little bit of space made and that damage off as well. ASAP Cactus rolling out through lower. Red Demo Diamond is already putting sticks down on that saw area as well, getting a little bit of early damage right now, but it's going to be really up to the soldiers to decide what the pace is. Pika is already taking down to 36 HP in this mid as well, just from combined spam across the teams. Goes back to get a pack, but yeah, bomb from Bunny Power. Gonna be going behind in Saw right now, so nothing else too really committal. Pounding on the enemy team right now and still being alive on a good amount of HP.
Somebody's
just in
trying
the
to catch
Saw
Bunny
area.
Power. We don't trust who's gonna take him down.
Yeah, they get him. I mean, it's still really, really nice space made. It allows the blue team to play this mid, but now with 2 players down and no other kill to come from it, it's gonna lead to them having to leave this mid. So, backing up onto second now, 2 players down, both soldiers. There's still definitely a chance that you can, really cling on to the second point here. Red team, though, doesn't really want to let them have this chance. They're pushing their way through lower right now, walking up to the bridge area as well as the demo. as well as soldiers bombing forward right now. Crab going for one, cleans up nice damage, and that's follow-up pipe from Diamond there. Pika is going to be forced out, getting jugged up by the bats area as well. So now the blue Uber is going to be a little bit worse, only 20% worse than the red Uber. Nice rockets from Kazuya, Kazuma Kairyu. Sorry, I don't know my Yakuza lore that well. Really actually able to clean up for Pika as well, so keeping them alive. And on the back end, Demonic Fan running away on 10 HP, almost getting focused down, but barely able to avoid the span. Diamond is going to be caught out as well, so blue team turned a little bit of a bad situation into a good one, actually able to completely flip that 180 from getting forced out early, just winning their DM fights and getting the picks that they need to during the Ubers.
Absolutely, hard agree. I mean, they're getting these crucial picks at these off timings as well. They're sending them all into different respawn waves, making it very hard for.
Crab behind.
Ooh, Crab is coming in behind.
What
that
nice
might
two
be
ice rockets on
something
the Pika.
big. He's gonna take Pika down there. This is a full wipe for Tickle.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I saw a lot of the fast aggression. They wanted to keep this momentum up, but, choosing to go in without a medic Uber or something into Snakewater last is going to mean that you have no doorways to really get out of, and you're so susceptible to these soldier bombs. And we see it there, so Pika down, 87 going up to 90% now for Draconic Catan, so a lot of momentum for them to work with. They're going to get second for free here and try to work their way into last. And if Bunny Power is dead here, it looks like there might just be, going to go down to the spam rocket from Soul. That's another delayed death for another 16 seconds as Red Team has this full Uber and they can choose to do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, I'm just expecting a full-on Uber, possibly through either Shutter or lower. I don't think they'll take it through left. I think, they're going to take this one in through lower
immediately.
Here. Ooh,
Yeah, good spam from
Diamond's
the blue
jumping
soldier.
onto the left side here. Except Cactus is caught out. Ooh, what a pipe from Diamond. He's gonna land a nice one right onto his dome. But the Uber's already faded. The Pudis is up on the right side. Yeah, there's 0 picks. Diamond and Crab are already dead. And it looks like Soul's gonna be dead as well. Some back gap trying to come in, but not really
trying to boss their
worthwhile.
way into point. Pudak really, hits the 2-shot that he needs to. But yeah, they really got no kills early with that, and were not able to establish themselves in any doorway. No point capture early means that, that Uber is just going to sort of flounder in Snakewater, right? It's so easy to get out of the spawn doorways if you're not really tracked, and they show it that, if you stay alive, you just win the last push. So now we have a little bit of a Uber's evening out. We're not too sure if both of these teams are aware of this evening out, but I mean, Pika had some sort of advantage to work the rest of the team with, but sort of choosing to chill out here on second, settling with not having a point taken away from them, right? I mean, you're not still 0-0 right now, and you're still holding second point. It's just really up to the red team to decide what they want to do right now in terms of these sacks. They're pressuring a lot right now, but no soldiers getting through early means blue team does have the time to do the counter spin that they need to really slow the aggression. Crab going to be jumping up to window. We're not going to... he might actually get dead on by these sticks that are right outside of window. Not too sure if he sees them, but still another cancel sack play. So again, just kind of biding our time, waiting for a soldier to choose to really get through and go for this force.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see some kind of play come out from either team at this point, really. We're stalemating on Snakewater second. Not typically where you see the stalemates.
Crab through, but hurt.
Ooh, yeah, Crab is not going to be able to get anything there. They are going to take Pika down to 100, so maybe opening up the opportunity for a double sack, but I don't think they want to take that risk and risk having mid fall into the hands of Tickle.
Yeah, definitely. And now it's in their hands to choose what they want to do. Bunny Power already jumping through the kitchen area. It can be founded by 2 players immediately, met in the face by Soul and Diamond. Taken down pretty much immediately, so that's going to be the counter sack attempt, almost floundering immediately in their face. It's a little bit harder to pressure out of this Snakewater second to get a sack in. Less doorways to shoot through efficiently to really pressure people off of things, so kind of just have to rip it. There's another soldier bomb going on, but the saw side... Kiryu is just going to go down as well, so that's another delayed death, and it's going to give a lot of space for the red soldiers to do what they want to do. Crab going to be jumping up into the pipe, going for some sort of bomb, but with not enough HP is going to be backing out. Bunny Power looks for the counter bomb as well. No one there to land on, so going to fall flat, but still, this is just completely safe gameplay here. A little bit of a Snakewater stalemate, what we're used to seeing, but they're just trading blows, really.
Yeah, it looks like they're just really trying to find a weakness in the hold of either team here. One thing I am noticing that I do have to raise concern of is the time it takes for these teams to really send in a counter sack, but
Oh, that's Cactus dead though.
ignoring that, Karma's just getting so much value. He's gonna take
Oh,
down
Diamond is going crazy as
wow,
well.
Diamond's
3
gonna take down
picks.
Kiryu, and I
Oh,
believe that was Kudark as well.
oh, Pink is dropped.
Ooh.
So much red HP on the blue team as well. They're all brought down to, I think, sub 10 HP on the last 3 remaining players. Completely nuked on this last, and with the Uber used out and no one alive on point, it's going to be round 1 here. You know, super dominant on the back end of it. I mean, obviously that stalemate, people just feeling each other out, but they got that one demo pick and were able to convert so much off of it.
Yeah, I think they just had Karma walking forward. They took down the demo, and they just heard, "Hey, I'm not getting shot at. Like, I'm taking no damage right now in those comms." And they just kind of walked forward, kind of abusing either the fact that Tickle is beefing or that they're just not pressuring adequately.
Yeah, no, generally, I just love that sort of aggressive play and be able to convert
Bomb
off
coming in
that.
from
But
Bunny
going in
Power.
now, Bunny Power, already going behind, getting the pack. It's going to be met with "We don't trust you" on the back end as well. Crab as well is solo holding the rest of blue team in their own saw right now with just his aura alone. That's going to be blue team hightailing it out of mid. Bunny Power going down in that, but sort of looked like for the side of Tickle that they sort of chose to get out even before that soldier was dead, right? And just realizing they did not have the space. And now red team is bossing their way into lower now. Pika going for the solo exchange in the scout right now. Red Uber is not used out immediately, but they're going to be dropping a few players as well. That's going to be Draconic Fan dropping the Uber, I think, before even getting it on this sort of dot situation. So if Pika stays alive here, this is going to be a lot of momentum for blue team to work the way onto mid and then further onto second as well. Unless we really see any sort of crazy high plays. We don't trust you in the back end though. Looking for Pika. Gonna Pika down super low and gets the kill as well. Pika not having that Uber after just using it. It's gonna be cleaned up by the solo scout before anybody else is able to do so. So rest of blue team trying to work their way out for something, but they're just getting cleaned up. Crab and Diamond both getting their own picks themselves is gonna mean again another 180 flip of momentum, right? Just from Pika being dead there. I said earlier that if Pika was able to stay alive, they can work their way onto second, but you have to get through safely and you have to make sure you know where everybody is. And that's red team right now, bossing their way onto second. Very assuredly, unless some sort of big bomb comes in. Kiryu gonna be bombing onto the enemy team's medic. Draconic Fan is gonna be taking super low, but not taking low enough. And with a nice downwards direct is gonna hit the nice 110 damage rocket onto him. Taking down his Draconic Fan. So blue team now with their
Diamond
HP and a
well.
kill from Pudark. Gonna mean that they can boss their way back onto second. Karma gets a
They know
trade
about
back.
Crab and Lobby though.
Ooh, cleaned up though.
Crab jumping off bridge.
Crab through.
He's looking for anything. Soul's gonna be on the beam as well. Pika's gonna drop there. Well, not
Yeah, but
drop,
they're gonna
but
be
die.
losing a lot here, so Pika's death is gonna be a lot longer than Draconic Fan, so slight override, but that means that blue team can get their way onto mid. It seems like a lot of the way that Pika has been dying this game, or just not even saying it's their fault, is a lot of these soldiers and a lot of these players are just able to get behind for free and then recollapse in a very coordinated manner, and it's worked out twice for them.
Yeah, it seems like Tickle's just getting blindsided a lot of the time, and that's kind of what's leading to their downfall. I feel like if their flank was a little bit more aware of their surroundings, it seems like, I mean, these players are just getting in from behind for absolutely free, getting so much value being inside of the backline. It doesn't make too much sense that they're able to get away with this. I feel like they should have known that there was going to be an attempt at a counter sack there. They probably should have, been deathballing around their beam a little bit harder, really anticipating both soldiers to try and do something. I feel like they should have known that Crab was, behind them in some capacity, especially when they hear those rocket jumps, because he does jump through Cheese to lobby and eventually waddles out on the bridge, and he's very easy to spot. But that's just not something they had in mind, I guess, and they're going to end up losing Pika for it, but it's not like it matters because these Ubers are going to even out almost on the mid here.
Yeah, and as well as that, they haven't gotten mid to lasted or really lost too many rounds other than just the 1-2 Pika going down. So not the most tragic thing in the world, and it allows you to sort of adapt.
Wrapping around onto Diamond.
Oh, he's
not going to pick him off just yet.
Does
he
though.
gets him at the
Gets
last
traded
second.
out. Yeah, but that's 2 soldiers dead though, so I'm not too sure if that's going to be a really positive play. Normally you just want to lose 2 soldiers in a sack for, you know, a medic or something like that, but instead it's going to be the red team running up through kitchen right now. We don't trust you getting his way through kitchen immediately and looking for a lot of these picks and looking at the enemy team as well.
Nice
It's going to allow
bomb coming in
Draconic
from
Fan to
Soul.
get in for free, yeah. And Pika forced out as well from that bomb. It's going to mean that the rest of red team is just hightailing their way out of there. Draconic Fan does use the Uber in late though. Soul that is going to be 1 down, but still with a way better Uber, they're going to hope for something better here. Crab gets 1, but nothing really else coming majorly from the better Uber on the side of Pipe Nightmare.
Yeah, Pipe Nightmare here. Very good counter pop coming out from their med, their Draconic Fan, just kind of knowing that if they use late, it's going to benefit them greatly. That said, Diamond's going to be able to pick up a kill onto ASAP Cactus, and Crab going to be able to pick up Kiryu and
Come on,
Budark as well.
Pika though. It's going to get that kill along with Crab as well. It's going to be Pika leaving a few seconds too late, looking to heal some sort of target, but taking down the back end. So red team, again, with all this momentum in the world, only 3 players up means they can get into last for free, and that's Crab already near the point, looking for these major rockets. No cap time early, so not a lot
Soul
of threat
able to
on
pick up
that.
Cell.
Yeah, and they're getting these trade kills, and spawners are coming up. I mean, Pika's going to be up right now,
Crab
they
able to
have
pick
their
up
scouts,
Budark.
but if
3
blue team
people
is able to
dead.
hold this, it'd be very miraculous, and it's sort of a misplay here, but just Pika alive is going to leave the hard blue moment up to them, but not going to happen. So 2-0 right now for Pipe Nightmare.
Yeah, their Ubers into last. Well, they didn't Uber into last there, but their last pushes in general are feeling a little sloppy from the side of Pipe Nightmare. But it's kind of working out for them because the defense that Tickle is putting up is also a tad bit sloppy. They're not really having a lot of people pay attention to the point, and I feel like that's starting to bite them in the rear because they're just losing so much cap time. But that said, Draconic Fan gonna lose about 100 HP here. Gonna have to back all the way out to
Pika
lower.
goes off the Crab. Oh, Crab is nuking right now. Gets 2 as well from the spam as Diamond, cleaning up a 3rd. And that is almost nearly a full wipe, except for Bunny Power, who's going to be in the flank right now. And the enemy team saw, trying to look for something. That's Karma on point right now with 30 HP. Trying to cap. If Bunny Power is able to hit this rocket, that's going to be mid denied for a minute now. So a little bit of an MGE moment. Bunny Power choosing to still play alive and keep themselves alive, but with 1 soldier dead and, you know, 2nd obtained, it's going to be a lot easier for red team to try to choose to do what they want to. Flicking back over, it's going to be Soul up in the cheese of the enemy team is going to be getting down Pika as well as Pudark, and oh my gosh, a 3k and then a 4k to top it off as well. Going absolutely massive, traded out himself, but now again, 3rd time now that we've seen red team with this Uber advantage barreling their way into the enemy team's 2nd, and it's up to the rest of Tickle to really pull something out in terms of this last hold, right? They're getting the NG up now, but unless they are able to absolutely perfectly cut out this Uber like they did before that one time where all 6 people were able to stay alive until the post fight, it's going to be really, really tragic for them going down 3-0 here.
Yeah, this is not looking too good for the side of Tickle here. They're sitting on basically full disad. With Pipe Nightmare being a disadvantageous. I'm not sure what this gun spot is either, by the way. Built by Cell. This gun is probably not going to be able to deny very much. It is going to get taken down very easily, soloed by the scout, Karma. They're going to have to take down Pudark. The Pudis is still very much alive. They're going to need to focus fire onto him, and they do finally do that. It's going to be 3 players down for the side of Tickle here. Kiryu going to go down on the left side. There's a lot of cap time coming out. Cell, the last man standing, and they're not able to contest it well enough as a one-man army. And that's going to make it 3-0 in favor of Pipe Nightmare.
Yeah, so 15 minutes into this match, right, 3-0. There obviously still is time for the rest of Tickle to actually have some adaptations that is going to net them a round or 2, right? I mean, they favored this sort of sending a soldier behind play, but losing Pika on these mids is just going to be so tragic for them. It's going to make it really, really hard for them to have any sort of say here on these mids.
Absolutely. It's going to be extremely difficult for them to have any say. Pika's on half HP here, gonna have to back out for the pack, but oh my goodness, Pika might actually die to these stickies here. Able to juke him out like a
Yeah,
madman,
just
but
running away.
the rest of his team gonna have to try and catch up to him as he leaves out to second, possibly even out to last. Waiting for his players to spawn here. That mid was very scrappy. Bunny Power still behind them. They know he's in lower. Crab gonna be able to wrap around behind him and take him down most likely, but he's gonna bomb him
Oh,
if we
he
don't
gets one
trust you,
though.
and yeah, he's gonna be able to mop up a scout at the very least. Not the greatest trait in the world to have, but it's better to take something with you than
So
absolutely
yeah.
nothing at all.
I mean, even Uber's ish, right? I mean, it was slightly twingy disad just from probably the beaming on mid and stuff like that. Something that it's really difficult to track, especially if it's this scrappy. But really, really nice on the mid from the focus fire from the Tickle themselves. I mean, Pudark hit the shots he needed to keep Pika alive, but having to hyper focus so much on that soldier bomb and not able to get something done themselves, other than just like sending Bunny Power behind, it's pretty predictable at this point. We've seen it 3 times now.
Yeah, we've seen it several times. We've seen Bunny Power just kind of be caught behind them. Really, I mean, he's not really doing anything of value when he's
Mm-hmm.
stuck behind like that.
Gone dead.
He's just not really making any space for his team. He's not helping his teammates fight. And granted, if you're caught behind like that, the fight is already over. But man, it's rough for the side of Pipe Nightmare here. Cell's gonna
Oh
be
crap,
taken
might
down
die
by We
here.
Don't Trust
Oh,
You.
so close.
Crab very close to death here. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to get out through lower, climb up through Africa and get into lobby, possibly up to
Oh,
Draconic and get some
nice
heals.
bomb from Kazuma right now. I mean, getting that nice little kill on the scout and drop down is gonna, even it out just a little bit. Overheating just a bit in that shutter, so Crab cleans him up, trying to jump away as well and just killing himself as Kazuya. But
Yeah.
I mean, still, somewhat even players and Diamond being dead is going to be the red team just really not want to push in immediately, right? They really want some sort of assured, hey, this is a great situation that we're confident that we can win, right? If you're not super versed on what your game plan is and forcing the initiative, then you really do just need some sort of big explosive opening to get into this last, and that's the way that they've gotten their past 3 rounds. Nice shot ringing out from Cell though, onto Karma in that right side lobby, I believe. Yeah, I mean, gonna be a little bit more to work with, so maybe a counter sack out. Oh, and that is gonna be a counter sack out, but immediately jugged his Bunny Power from We Don't Trust You, able to get through nowhere and jug straight up in the air, doing a little bit of a pencil and falling down to his death. So, good attempt. I like seeing the attempts, obviously. Whenever I see it on Snakewater, it does make me smile a little bit, because I know we're not EU, but a little bit of a flat bomb as well. So now it's on the initiative of Pipe Nightmare to figure out what they want to do here.
Yeah, I am expecting some kind of explosive play from Pipe Nightmare, possibly trying to take an exchange. I'm not sure. ASAP Cactus going to be taken down here. This is a nice play to have. That's going to be Bunny Power trying to stop Soul and Crab from getting any free space, but it's not going to work out too well for him. He is going to get knocked away. Nightmare still hasn't used their Uber just yet. It's not looking too great for the side of Tickle, though they're going to lose Kazuma, and the Ubers do finally come out on both teams. Pika
pressure,
popping
can
a
they
little
get to
bit
it?
later.
Pika does get to it in time, and they have the heavy on point now.
The Puda's coming up is going to save them big
about
time
even,
here.
but if Soul and Karma can get on this point and get anything else, Karma's still on the spot, looking for the stab, gets 2 beast stabs as well, so not able to get the kill he needs to really, win on Spy or anything like that, but still a really, really good attempt. I did like trying to break this open with some sort of a random off class, and seeing the Spy come out, just, it makes sense to me, right? If you can't break it with just your normal soldier stacks, just spamming and trying to get through, then, why not just try to catch them, off guard and just go for something like that?
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. If they're off guard, they're caught with their pants down, it makes sense. You want to go in and make something happen. I mean, what better time than then? You've got the element of surprise on your hands, but unfortunately, it didn't work out for him there, and he kind of beefed a little bit and was not able to land anything and ended up meeting his fate.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard when you're a spy, right? You have to get your one, and then you're just kind of the most useless class in the face of like scouts and soldiers and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I still like the attempt though, right? I mean, you can obviously try to go for your little trick stab play and stuff like that. So yeah, not awful at all, but now stalemating here on second is kind of a familiar sight for Tickle right now. They really have not been able to break through on this mid with any sort of Ubers or anything like that that's actually allowed them to get into the enemy team's last at all. So not even an attempt yet is kind of the name of the game right now.
Oh,
That is
nice
a nice
from
pipe though.
Cactus.
Yeah, really clean pipe from Cactus. Cleans up the one, so only a single sack is going to be leaned to Bunny Power, looking for something here towards the saw area, but oh, they get 2, 3 dead right now. That's going to be red team running for their lives right now. Maybe we don't trust you going for some sort of ego play, looking for that pick, but choosing to back off himself. So finally, just what I was saying, right? Blue team just needed some sort of a breath of fresh air to work their way back in, and here they are. They have even Ubers again, but now breathing down on the enemy team's second, so up to them to figure out what they want to do in terms of sacks.
Yeah, it is up to them to figure out what exactly they're going to need to do. Having Soul down right there is definitely going to give Tickle some space to try and get anyone.
Crab's going to be caught
really.
too.
Ooh, no soldiers for the side of Pipe Nightmare here. The Uber is going to get used
and
from
another
Tickle.
kill from it. Even
Yeah,
if
they're
this
going
red
to get
Uber
a
comes
couple
out.
picks. Ooh, Cactus is caught deep in Saw, though. He is going to get taken down.
Run, Pika,
Pika
run!
probably going to get chased as well. Yeah, Pika, there's no way Pika lives this. Unfortunately, he is going to get caught out.
On the back end, though, it's going to be 3 players.
Wait,
2 scouts and a
it's only Crab
2 soldiers
on
and a
last.
scout. Yo, it's 2 on lost right now. There's a heavy coming up from spawn, but Cell ready to point right now. If they can get this kill onto Crab, then they can really break this last of them. But the heavy able to get on point. Yeah, so I like the attempt, and still able to break a lot of the momentum of the red team. Draconic Fan is going to be taken down from Bunny Power on second as well. I didn't even expect that sort of bomb, but not choosing to go into last, but instead look for the red medic, and it works out for them. So Pika now working with 30 added for the rest of Tickle, so they can choose what they want to do with this, right? I mean, it's up to them to figure out if they want to make the proactive play, if they want to let the set even out and go for sacks and stuff like that. Hopefully, I would really like to see, you know, either aggressive Uber from Saw or trying to get through early as you're getting your Uber through lower and trying to take it on to whoever's in front of you. So hopefully we see some sort of play like that. Right now, Bunny Power is working his way into lower right now, going for some sort of a bomb and looking for the enemy team's medic. Going to be fading away right now and taken down by We Don't Trust You, just bombing on too low of HP and into the open area. Kiryu is going to go for that bomb onto the medic though. Draconic Ben is taken down by the focus fire of Kiryu and the scout. So Pika uses the Uber, but with no red medic, it's going to mean that they can work their way to second unless
Pika down in grass.
Oh, Pika's gonna die because everybody else dies as well. It's a tragedy. Again, it looks like these situations are so good for them, but losing in the details, it's just gonna be the medic dying over and over here.
Yeah, Pika just can't catch a break. He's not really receiving as much protection as I think he should be during some of these post fights. Bunny Power gonna be trying to peek up as sniper, but it's not gonna work out for him. Hopefully there's not that spam there.
Even Diamond's on the ground crouching on the enemy team's side as well, trying to dodge the sniper, so you know, nothing really gonna come with that. Again, how many times have I said this? Welcome back to Snakewater, second hold, even Ubers. See what the team has in terms of sacks right now. We've seen these single sacks actually work out pretty well. You know, just getting onto Pika and getting these kills, so they shouldn't feel too scared for planning out a sack like this.
Yeah, there's no fear in planning out a sack here at all. I mean, this really should be the play you're going for, really. I mean, a sack right here is kind of the norm. Both of the teams have Uber. I mean, makes no sense not to try and put somebody in. You gotta go for something. The sticks on window are gonna be dead, so maybe Crab or Soul has an open window to try and get in here, but it looks like neither of them are gonna try and take it.
Open window, get it? But yeah, I mean, working their way in now and sort of looking for this bomb through the saw area is Crab. Gonna be bombed back by Kiryu though. Getting away is Kiryu on 40 HP, going back for that bow from the medic as well. So slowing down a little bit, but I do love the attempt to punish red team for trying to get out through these doorways, right? I mean, if you can juggle them out with just one rocket, then that's almost an assured kill for you.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good, the amount of juggling we're seeing here, but unfortunately, we're not seeing a lot of follow-ups for these juggles or any of these like follow-up rockets that are necessary. Nice pipe on a crab. Gonna send him
Oh,
into
that's
the
two.
ground, and Bunny Power gonna be able to clean him up as well.
Yeah, so I mean, 2 picks now is going to mean this isn't going to be more of a counter-attack situation. It's going to be the rest of the blue team trying to make their way into mid right now. We don't trust you on the height though. Looking for the pick on a bunny power is going to be going behind in Saw. The rest of the blue team
I
trying to
don't.
look forward right now, but still not cleaned up. Might be getting Kiryu in the back end and does. Still alive on 20 HP is getting cleaned up by Cell in the back end. So one soldier for one scout, not awful, but still, it's going to be assured mid for the blue team. 2 for 2 right now. About almost even in terms of class value, right? I mean, scouts and soldiers, I kind of value them the same here on Snake Water, so it's gonna let blue team really slow down here, get their players back, choose what they want to do with the sack. But yeah, I mean, 3 minutes ticking down. I know we are on Banny config if I'm not wrong completely, but still
We
time
are.
ticking down, so they'll have to figure out something soon, and they're gonna have to figure out something before red team just eventually dissects them in this Banny time.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll see something come out from the side of Tickle. They need to get a response on the board. But right now, with the way they're playing, I'm not seeing it possible, at least within the confines
Yeah.
of Banny time. I mean, 3 minutes until that round limit is reduced, and I think
Oh, Bunny Power
I
gonna go
think
down
what
Saw.
Youch. I think what Pipe Nightmare wants to do here is just whittle down their numbers, but
And
not actually
another
take them down to the last point. I think they just want to take it into finals of Banny time and
4
get that
down.
fourth cap. Yeah, the 4 down as well, and they're getting caught off
Pika has
inside
to
of
use
Kitchen. They have to use out.
with
And
just
the counter
Cactus
pop,
alone. Yeah, I mean, Cactus is gonna be running for his life in lower area. Getting out through bats, actually, so not too bad of a situation, actually. Just keeping Pika alive. It's gonna be about even Ubers here, but unless anything else tragic here happens, sort of the situation we've seen where Tickle is just on the back foot here, regardless of if you just look at it of, you know, they're on their last, but it sort of feels like that all of this game's pace has been decided on Pipe Nightmare.
yeah, things are not looking good for Tickle right now. Pipe Nightmare able to get a nice counter pop off and almost catch some players off guard, but not quite able to make anything out of it. It is 2 minutes, 1 minute 47 and counting until Banny time kicks in. And
Mm.
this is playing into my theory that Pipe Nightmare really just wants to whittle down the time and whittle down their numbers. They're not really building on mid, though, all things considered. So this is placing Tickle in a precarious position where I'm not sure if they know that they have ad.
Yeah, I don't think they do either, especially if you're on second like this with only marginal ad. It's going to be pretty scary to try to use through a doorway, right? I mean, even if you're going to use through a doorway, Enemy Medic still has the biggest opportunity in the world to just play by Saw and not be in an area where you can catch him. So even if they know we're not, it's going to be Uber's evening out again right now. So red team now working their way into second. There's going to be a nice bomb in from Crab, but still going to be cleaned up from the Rockets of Bunny Power. Now on the red team to figure out what they want to do. Bunny Power and Kiryu are working their way into the Saw area, trying to get through something. I like this combined spam though and the combined pressure. Pudark as well is making his way out through the Saw area, and they're just choosing to try to bust their way onto mid right now, which I do really respect. Soul gonna be maybe taking down this backside, and it's gonna be Pika forced out early. Draconic Fan uses right back, but even players right now about the same Ubers as well. So we'll have to see what this post fight looks like, and it looks like it's going to be very dire for the side of Tickle. ASAP Cactus, Pika, and Bunny Power are going to be going down immediately, and it's going to be Kiryu, last alive, taking down super late as well. Going to be on a 16-second spawn timer with his fellow soldiers, so red team again, full leeway to make their way into last, and these are the fights that they've really been winning on these last points is, you know, getting through and making sure they have this advantage to just get through confidently. Crab getting through, getting to a nice bomb with the focus fire from We Don't Trust You is going to clean up Cactus and Pudark. So no demo to work with, and the gun going down. Pika on point trying to salvage something. Yeah, it's hard, man. You gotta try something,
spam.
but spammed out in the end, and that's a red team going to be taking this in Banning time 4-0. So good job from
Very
Pipe
nice,
Nightmare.
yeah, very nice strategy of just wanting to run down the time there. Something you don't typically see teams that aren't quite used to banning time do. A lot of the times they'll just end up walking in and like, all right, guys, let's cap the point. The match is going to end. And then they remember they're on a different config. And then they have to play out an entire other round when they could have just ended it 4-0. But Pipe
Hmm.
Nightmares, not those kind of players. They understood we got to wait this out. It'll win limit at 4, and we'll be able to take this one home for all the marbles. But it's not quite done yet. There are still 2 more maps in the series, and we will be seeing you on, I believe, Metalworks for your second map.
Yeah, Metalworks is going to be a little bit interesting to look at. Sort of a similar situation, I'd like to think, in terms of, just game plan differences, right? I mean, a little bit of these holds are very, very important as well. And people losing a lot of rounds is people just more exploding on, their mids, their seconds, and just getting ran at into their last. So, it might just be a similar case of, what we saw in the Snakewater game of just these slow advantages being pushed over and over.
Yeah, I think the real problem that I think Tickle faced at the very least is mostly that they're a little uncoordinated and that they're not exactly together. All things considered, they're kind of they're a little fragmented. I mean, you can see it on their mids when they're like trying to fight something, and while they're trying to fight, they just are all over the place. They're focusing different targets. There's just so much happening between that team, and they're so discombobulated, and then it really is taking a toll on how they're able to defend.
Yeah, so this is going to be, I mean, like what you said, it's going to be right here where it decides if they're able to adapt from it, right? I mean, they showed right there that they were able to dissect the side of Tickle from Pipe Nightmare's perspective, just over time, right, with just slightly better plays and with a little bit more safety put on their own medic as well, and just keeping these doorways locked down. If they keep this up, this might just be a little bit of a quick 2-0 here, but I would love to be proven otherwise, right? I mean, Metalworks obviously a very explosive central map in terms of setting the pace, but um, still, you would expect to see a little bit of a game plan change, a little bit of a pep talk going on of what do we need to do differently to make this work out for us.
Yeah, I think they really need to take a minute or two, maybe even 3, to really discuss what they want to do. Because Metalworks is not one of those like newbie friendly maps, all things
Definitely,
considered.
definitely. Before we do get into Metalworks here real quick, I think we're going to go to just a little break here. Make sure we have everything figured out in our end. It's going to be less than, just a few minutes. So shouldn't be too long now, but we will be going live with the second map here soon. But until then, I will catch you guys in just a little bit. Guys, about that little tiny delay there. We're just kind of swapping out commentators. Zach's, going super hard tonight
Okay,
as well.
swapping out commentators is
Um,
strong, surely, for what's going
yeah,
on here.
yeah. I mean, we kind of have to do what we have to do here, but still, just making sure we can keep the show on the road with people who are ready to go. Um, we've had a lot of swapping out of commentators today, so I appreciate you guys bearing with us on that front. But you know, 6 people on both teams right now on Metalworks right now, so we're gonna be getting into things really quickly here. But yeah, is there anything that you're really looking forward to on Metalworks that's really gonna be different from Snakewater?
I can tell you exactly right now what I would like, and that is
Mm-hmm.
anything beyond the glacial pace that we saw for Snakewater. I think I was falling asleep.
Yeah, man. The waffling has to happen, but Snakewater is Snakewater, especially if you just don't have the adaptation of the game plan ready to, really shift things around. So I'm really hoping for, some more defining mids as well. It seemed like a lot of the mid plans for Tickle here was just more focused around a lot of these flank plays and stuff like that. So um, yeah, I think that regardless, if they are able to figure out what they want to do with the soldiers as well, you have a very, very easy avenue to bomb medics as well, and a lot more of a simplified game plan. If they're able to actually adapt here, then there's going to be obviously a better pace, which I hope for, and I know you are too. Um, but also just a little bit more of these cohesive plans that the teams have put together.
Yeah, 100%. I think if anything, a lot of it will come down to how these teams take their mid fights. Because I mean, let's face it, Snakewater is probably not as choky as Metalworks can be known to be,
Mm-hmm.
especially on that last. If you don't know how to bomb in with soldiers effectively, I think because it's even harder to peek a sniper in, get a spy in position.
Yeah.
Whatever else you may have in mind.
Yeah,
Uh,
stuff like that, but it's still, I feel like there's still points for this to stalemate. We've seen stalemates on this map before, but then again, it's not as tight of chokes, right? And you don't have to respect getting immediately killed through a doorway nearly as much with, the existence of alley, the amount of flank routes going into the last points as well. So hopefully we'll be able to see a lot of these teams really figuring out their plans and figuring out how they want to dissect the other team's holds if it's really going to come down to these stalemates.
One thing that I think will also be an issue is the survivability for blue team here, especially with how they were losing players in and out of pushes throughout the last game on Snakewater.
Yeah, for
They might
sure.
this map will punish that much harder as well. Snakewater is kind of known for being a little ratty sometimes, but the amount of I think almost ridiculous hiding corners and like little offsets and tiny textures where you can hide sickies and whatnot.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
100%, this will come into effect. I'm gonna put money down on that.
I'm expecting, yeah, like that little Batman area as well in the houses, or just in alley as well as just closet going into last as well. Um, all of these places that you really just have to be on top of your game and communicating well to be able to clear out effectively, or else you're just going to be bombed from behind, having back cap attempts and stuff like that. It's happened to me before on this map, but we'll have to see if they have this sussed out as we are going live into our first mid right now. Obviously, a lot of emphasis is going to be on these soldiers to figure out what they want to do. Hoping for a lot of bombs, counter bombs, stuff like that, but going into it as well, obviously, it just depends on are these demos just going to explode immediately as they walk in the mid, right? Are they going to walk up through elbow and just die to a bunch of spam all at once, or will they be able to get these bombs out? Rolling out to mid, though, is going to be the blue team bombing in early, so Kiryu going for the one bomb on Diamond, but very explosive mid from either teams as well. Soul is going to be bombing into Pika, who's going to be caught in the corner on the pack as well, so Draconic Fan is going to be the one medic alive, and we don't trust you chasing the ASAP Cactus on 1 HP, and is going to get cleaned up from a pipe as well. So, yeah, I mean, Pika dead, but still a lot more scrappiness than what we saw on these Snakewater mids in terms of just like everybody shooting the same thing or everybody just going across together. Might just be a part of, this mid just being a little bit smaller, a little bit easier to get through on these doorways.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a part of it came down as well. I liked the aggression from Tickle early on, especially when they picked off Diamond as the first kill of the entire game.
Yeah.
That helped out a lot.
Yeah, but not
it really
able to
just
do too
came
much.
down to being a problem when there wasn't a lot of follow-up, and I think that's going to be a continuing problem.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they were able to do this sort of early proactive play, but if you don't have the pieces in place otherwise, you're just going to crumble and have your medic shoved in the corner, two-rocketed, like what happened to them. So,
Absolutely.
you know,
With that, the
definitely.
Uber does come out.
Oh man, yeah, it does. And Diamond going to be sent through early, looking for this heavy kill. Heavy not cleaned up until super late. Blue team is actually about to get their Uber here on 90% for Pika. That's going to be only one pick down for the blue team. And they're able to fend off with 4 kills themselves, so they now have full ad to work their way out with. Soul going to be leaving here, so that's the last explosive that they really have to worry about, or last person alive that can really put a thorn in their sides in terms of, you know, someone getting onto their medic, like what was happening on Snakewater. So blue team now has the ball in their court with how they want to get into mid right now. They know they have this Uber, but how do you really want to get through safely and make sure that your med is not dying here? It's a lot of pressure early from both these soldiers. Everybody's spamming this alley side. It's going to be Bunny Power bombing through early, trying to look for this pick onto Soul, but no pick as well. Not taking down himself as well, and getting a nice pick onto Karma is ASAP Cactus. Blue team able to keep Pika alive. Maybe not though. Barely living is Pika on that back end from the soldier running through back door. So it's going to be Draconic
survival
Ram.
there is crazy.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
think that was overall
right.
a misplay on the side of Pipe Nightmare. And the reason here is that they actually did really well early on when they sent 2 soldiers in and got a force off early.
Yeah.
That's fantastic news.
Double bomb in. Oh, they're both jumped so early though. Draconic Man take 1 rocket, 2 rocket from Bunny Power.
Nightmare.
So both soldiers going down, but you know now it's going to be up to Pika to stay alive right here with 50% remaining. Karma looking to sell up for this medic pick as well, and Pika is taken down. It's going to be ASAP Cactus taken down, so no one to defend the medic is going to leave for them, hightailing it out. But Pudark going for the back cap, going to be cleaned up by the 2 spawners. Soul is there in time with the red medic as well, so no point being flipped over from just this little bit of cheesy chaos back cap. So up to blue team now to actually get something going here in terms of holding this mid. They're not even trying to poke into second right now on their way out.
We actually see Bunny Nightmare on top of Batman. He does get almost a pick off on the demo man. Kiryu does come to clean that up, but he also trades. So it's 2 soldiers down for a demo pick. With the Ubers as they are right now, that's not necessarily a good thing, especially because Cactus is milliseconds away from losing his life from a good arrow from Pika is the only thing keeping him up right now.
Yeah, I mean, with the 2 soldiers dead now, I mean, they got the kill onto Diamond, but Diamond saying in chat double feed, it kind of seems like that now, because red team with 2 players still rolling out gives them a lot more space to work with in terms of just jumping through here, right? You don't have a lot of the spam coming out from these soldiers, so you can sort of choose how you really want to get into the second, but
and one
still
thing to
for Pipe
consider as well,
Nightmare,
like, there was
they want to get in.
A 25% Uber advantage for the side of Pipe Nightmare that's now just gone down to 0 based off of the amount of damage and pushing that was happening at the time. Crab does come in for a sack, but right now there's not really too much counter aggression coming out.
Yeah.
As well as actually there's a little bit of space taken by Kiryu. He does end up choosing to live on 11 HP rather than pushing forward, probably for the better.
I like that decision, but yeah, no immediate aggression, so Crab's going to be respawning here in a second with no counter sack really taking place. So still up to Pipe Nightmare to decide the pace of what they want to do here.
And it looks like that choice is going to be trying to take Valley control, sending in another sack. It might be Crab, it might be Soul. We're not totally sure yet, but we will update the counter bomb actually does come in from Bunny.
Oh,
he gets
really close
so much
into
damage
Demonic.
off.
Oh, so close.
Draconic
Almost that 3rd rocket. So close, actually. I really love the attempt, actually, just trying to punish them in alley, but 2 dead now as Pudark trying to feed through the lower side, and Kiryu might even get taken down. They're going to be focused on super low, and it's going to be cleaned up by the spam from Crab. No one there to bail him out, so 2 more late deaths, and Pika jumped into the air. Karma going to be dropping Pika on the enemy team's last, so rest of red team is going to be flooding their way into last right now. It's going to be 2 people capping on second, and the rest of red team already on last, looking for anything
3
more.
3 HP left for the total of blue team.
Yeah, that's a dominant point right there for
Pipe Nightmare. And you can't really do too much there. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's crazy forward aggression from the side of Pipe Nightmare, just really choosing to punish Pika specifically for just you know, being in for a few 2 seconds long. Just is blowing it open for the enemy team's last now. kind of the story of what we're seeing, but in this whole best of 5 is red team is so able to convert into a last push no matter what if they're going to be killing everybody on second. It's just up to Tickle to really slow down and be able to actually hold last because they're able to do so. Nice bum out from Kiryu. Is not going to find anything else, so it's going to be a nice fight from Diamond on the back end. Cleaned up is Diamond from Bunny Power though. Rest of red team running forward all the way into the enemy team's alley is going to be cleaning up Pika early, and Pudar going to be taking a one-on-one with Don't Trust You. Only thing left that's going to be the saving grace is Bunny Power on the back end on red team's second right now. I don't know if he's looking for a spawn camp. I think that's exactly what he's doing, hiding in the corner right now, looking for Diamond. But red team barreling their way through on second, cleaning up Cell. We'll have to see if Bunny gets to the one. Diamond not going to go down to it though. He's going to be staying in spawn. So
Bunny got too excited with it.
Yeah, a little bit. Bunny Power not able to get what he needs, so that's a soldier that's behind and not here holding last.
I mean, granted, that is also still a demo down. I don't know if the demo is aware that he can forward spawn. He actually does hit the air shot rather on Bunny Power anyway. I'm sure there's many things coming out in chat with that.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit of a saucier drop from the traps as well. The ASAP Cactus hitting that perfect timing as well. Getting Draconic Fan down, so that gives him a little bit of breathing room now. Pika does not have the full Uber to work with, so we'll see if they want to push out of their last. They might just want to with the med being dead, right? Expecting just a heal diff, but a little scary, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of things slip through the cracks where Pika is cleaned up by a hider or a soldier or a scout behind, so choosing to sort of be a little bit measured in their aggression is the blue team. They're working their way into lobby now. 85%, so expecting to see an Uber soon.
I think that Metalworks especially is very hard to push out on, and at this point, blue team has waited far too long for their ability to try and come forward. With that, though, they do have 3 picks now versus a 2, but they are forced in lobby, which is generally accepted to be a bad thing.
Yeah, but them getting the whole wipe as well, just from the DM diff, it makes it look not nearly as bad. And Draconic dead as well in the scrap there. So now Pika with a little bit of ad to work with, and Tickle have all the time in the world to figure out what they want to do with this. It's the most apparent ad in the world, so I'd love to see some sort of Uber out a second here. Already bossing their way onto mid is Tickle. Kazuya Kiryu is going to be looking for this sort of play right now, but a nice trap from Diamond as well as the solo pick from Crab. It's going to be red team has all the space to work back into mid right now. Crab looking for more is going to get that in this name of Kiryu. And also cleaning up Cell, not even dying on the back end of that, so that's a full wipe.
Yeah, that's incredibly unfortunate. And I think Tickle had the right idea, but as soon as Bunny Power died, it was kind of starting to become that lost cause, especially when no one was able to trade that out. With that though, it looks like
definitely.
red team is pushing in here. Pipe Nightmare taking that space, able to pick off a soldier, but at the expense of ASAP
The cap
Cactus.
time! So much cap time early. And they get it with just the cap time alone.
But no one died before the cap time just ended.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to heavy, right? It's hard to jump on point with heavy just because of how slow that class is if you're not in position, but having to sort of flounder there and scramble, so red team capitalizing on that, cleaning up their second round here. This looks a little bit more back and forth than what I saw on Snakewater, especially for the side of Pickle. They definitely have their moments
Diamond's
here,
pack just
but
got stolen. He's
Diamond's
super slow
so
to mid.
low. Yeah, you're right. They have no one in mid right now, and all the space is given to blue team. Bunny Power is going to be on enemy AC as well, looking for more, but Diamond is going to get a really nice kill onto Kiryu. So red team does have something to work with. Everybody on blue team is taking so low, and Pika down 9 HP is cleaned up from the roller from Diamond. So now full momentum, but back on the side of red team. Pipe Nightmare again, barreling their way down on the enemy team and just winning with this measured aggression, even with the tragedy.
Yeah, that's just a worst case scenario, especially when you know that. I mean, we knew obviously as the casters and commentators of this match, but if your demo doesn't show up to mid, that generally means a lost mid.
Yeah, generally you want to hightail it out of there and just kind of cut your losses at that point, but choosing to get back in and really off of that one pick is now going to be them pushing into last. We're popped a solo on Diamond, no scout really in this Uber. So nothing to really run across. They're going to find Pudark and Bunny Power early on, but nothing else really too early, but winning out overall. still in these DM fights, just a lot of this focus fire damage works out for them. Even if they aren't able to get a lot of the kills during the Uber, they are able to get everybody in, everybody shooting the same thing, and that is a third round here for the red team. So if you're on the side of Tickle, right, I mean, it's not going to take too much more before you are booted out of this third place spot.
I'm starting to have some judgments.
Yeah.
If anything, though, I think that it's not impossible. There's players that look uncomfortable on this map on the side of red team, but
Well, Crab.
yeah, Crab is not one of them. He is barreling in, able to get the pick. Pika is surviving the second bomb from Soul, but they need to be leaving now. Pika just grabbed the pack, but the enemy is hot on their tails coming through this valley.
Yeah, I mean, so 2 picks back on red team. Well, I mean, they're at the inverse, actually. 2 picks taken away from the red team. They're going to be losing both their soldiers, so not able to flood it immediately off of this mid win. Looks like a lot of their success is off of these speed plays where they're just going off of momentum, so now slowing down a little bit to a stalemate. We'll have to see what they have cooked up in terms of sacks. Obviously, we've seen the sort of counter bombs coming out from Bunny Power into the alley area, so we'll have to see that comes again. Crab jumping through early, looking for a little bit of space here, not going to be committing too deep or anything like that, but like I said before, Bunny Power going for that counter bomb onto Diamond is going to hit a nice direct on him as well. Cleans up Crab as well, so even though they're on second, that doesn't mean that they can't do anything, and they show that right there with Bunny Power just bossing up right now. That's going to be blue team trying to work their way into their own house. With Diamond dead, they don't have to worry about these sticks.
And this should be a mid just for Tickle to take, honestly. We'll about to find out to see if there's any secret traps coming into play, but I don't think there are, as both soldiers are backing up. Demo in the respawn queue just came up himself. So at this point, we're kind of just waiting to see what the next play is as Tickle start taking the house in battle.
Yeah, we've seen this situation before, especially on the last map where, Tickle was able to play really well on their second point and get the inverse of the situation of the hold, right? But not able to get too much else. But Bunny Power bombing in right now, going to be going for the force. It does get the force out. Draconic Fan taking down to 10 HP and finally popping out that Uber. So now it's full Uber ad for the side of Tickle to work with. Up to them to choose what they want to do with it. For right now, they are backing up to mid, trying to wait for their player, I guess, and make sure that they can take the best situation possible. So unless there's some sort of crazy drop coming out, this is going to be a nice Uber angle here for the side of Tickle.
This might be a recurring issue that I'm noticing now, but I'm noticing a lot of the times that when Tickle backs up, they back up almost too far. You're seeing here that they got an Uber force out all the way back at the end of their second towards Shutter, and even then they went back to their side of mid, which is, it feels like an overreaction. Knee-jerking of the wrong degree.
Red team's gonna get. They use the Uber out finally, looking for picks as well. They're gonna get Soul early, looking for more, but Draconic Ban is on 90% right now. They took so long, but the red team does have their Uber to work back with. They might just choose to take this right here. I'm not entirely sure what the combo is, but getting back into the Shutter area right now and popping out immediately, like I said, they took so much time that it's gonna leave the rest of the blue team with a tail between their legs running away. That's ASAP Cactus cleanup as well, and Lascelles is gonna have some sort of miracle play. That's gonna be Pika dead as well. So complete 180, and just like what you said, that is a big issue right there with not being able to get in quickly or do something off of this full Uber ad. So going for the confident play when really they don't have all of the situation set up to do so.
100%. And I think, first of all, Pudark is in a hiding spot. I don't know if he'll be spotted. He does get a ton of good damage on the medic, but
so
then is able to shake him out
10
instead. There was only one other forward spawn. Bunny Power does get taken out, being a little aggressive, trying to get any extra damage
Karma
off
hitting
on
the taunt too.
Draconic. But at the end of the day, it looks like this is going to be a 30% advantage with Pipe Nightmare building as hard as they possibly can.
Definitely, it's a
We're
little
seeing
scary
no
now.
off-classes as well for Tickle. Never mind, we do see now a heavy. Interestingly enough, I think they probably would have had time for an engineer, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, obviously you don't think that in the moment, but still, Uber getting used to now. Pika only at 95%, so gonna be able to pop this back pretty much immediately unless something tragic happens, and they do. Gonna pop it back on the heavy on point, so no immediate cap time coming out, and it's gonna be Pudark almost feasting right now. Kiryu cleaning up a lot of those kills, and then Pudark on the right side as well, looking for more. So 4 dead right now. including the red medic, is going to be blue team pushing the way out of last.
But this is also where I think Tickle comes into their next problem, and that is the fact that even right now they are pushing forward. They're taking second. This is good. They're making space. They're not building effectively. They do have a 50% advantage right now, but I don't know if that will last.
I'm not sure if they really want to
we do
use
see
it.
now cell building as well, but even then, I know that the differences in numbers here is a little excessive and can be in comparison to what we've seen Pipe Nightmare do in the past. They do come across the Uber now, though. They're pushing into this valley space, staring down all the monumental amounts of spam. The Uber does come out, perhaps to take out Diamond. In the meantime, he is dodging and juking everything. So
yeah, they're probably gonna get 3 here unless Crab gets something crazy. He doesn't. Nice little downward direct from Kiri.
Absolutely, and I think 3 is kind of the magic number when it comes to effective Ubers.
Yeah,
Red team
definitely.
does get their Uber in exchange, but they do have to back up purely off of the amount of damage that they can or can't do, right?
They do get a pick though, so that might be something to work with, and might be a reason for them to actually stay on second. So,
Well, what we're doing,
you know,
what
even
we're
though
seeing
they
right
get
now
that
is
those 3
holding
kills,
aggressively.
it's scary. Yeah, they are holding aggressively, and that's why they're able to get these kills, is because they're doing so.
Yep, but I mean, even then, Pika's now at 80%. It's not infeasible at all that there's a chance that they can just walk through here anyway.
Oh, Cell is so low to spam even from the red team booking their way in. And it's going to get dropped in the Uber. Pika trying to use that Uber out, and it's going to have almost no targets to work with. Going to be running away. Nothing really coming out from that force, even trying to really save the scout, but just a millisecond too late. So that's Cell dead now, and the rest of blue team trying to find anything at all on the second point before they have to leave.
Yep. And the Uber does come out for red team now in exchange. Everybody on blue doing their best to kite as much as they possibly can, but they do lose 3 immediately, and the other 3 players
dead.
are held deeply on last. I'm worried to say that those 3 deaths might have been a little unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to do something, anything at least, right? But losing that many is going to leave red team all the way into last right now, going for all this cap time, and unless it's answered right now, it's going to be Karma capping the point by himself. Draconic even kill binding as well, just a little gesture to say how he feels right now. So red team now has all the space in the world, only 10 minutes left in this match, 4-0 right now, so we're only 1 round away from the end of our cup right here and deciding the 3rd place match right now.
I'm always excited to see how that goes. Diamond again, being a little bit slower and more hurt with his rollout as it stands right now. Blue team just tried to take top left early, but their demo is completely forced off by a scout. No
Pika
trade
is so
happening
caught.
there.
Oh my gosh, it's brutalization. It's a meat grinder in the enemy team's house. So they're all able to send both the scouts, both the soldiers all the way into elbow, all the way into the enemy's house, and just nuke anybody that's in there in such an enclosed area as well. It's just so easy to get jugged and lose all control of what's going to happen to you.
And even then, Draconic did such a good job, juking and jiving through his 2 enemy soldiers' bombs. Heavy is up now for the side of Tickle. I don't know how long that will be for. Both scouts choosing the cap the second, and the Uber is ready for Pipe Nightmare. Diamond's already in prior to the Uber. Spam on the heavy, Uber's on the scouts. This might be over.
Yeah, a little bit of a nail in the coffin here. Going to be Pika doing a little bit of a hard blue moment, not taking down immediately, but going to be the case. So red team cleaning up another really clean game right now, and that is going to be GG in terms of this set. A very dominant showing right now is going to be Pipe Nightmare. Overall, just showing a lot more prowess in their game plan. And just really setting the pace overall, as well as just able to convert off of these last pushes, not even off of these last pushes, but these pushes into second, the kills that they get into their last pushes.
Absolutely. I think the domination there was relatively complete, especially in terms of how much space they were able to take. Even just the DM fights on their own, I think, leaned much more heavily towards Pipe Nightmare. We are going to check that, though, as I pull up logs.tf and I check for any Metalworks games that happened recently. Those are going
Mr.
into the chat now.
Producer? Yeah, show me those logs, Mr. Producer.
Of
Let me see
course, of
what we got
course.
here.
Let me get those to you real quick.
Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what the defining characteristics of Pipe Nightmare is that really set them apart. Hopefully, we can see right here of just in terms of DM as well. Sorting by just most kills alone, it's going to be We Don't Trust You dropping a 20 bomb and 3.4 KDA as well. No one really going above 300 DPM this match. Diamond had a great game as well, dropping 293 DPM, 2 and 9 KDA. So obviously, a lot of big impact coming out from them. We saw that on the mids. We saw that on those pushes into last as well. Just a very centralizing player. So yeah, big kudos to them. But just overall, looks like just from this log, in my opinion, overall prowess on these sort of maps where you're really having to break these stalemates, right? Just feels so much more adept at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of it also came into how the positioning ended up for
Yeah,
the side of Tickle. But even then, what can you do? It happens sometimes. I think a
sure
great game is
does.
played by all. Congratulations to Pipe Nightmare.
Yeah, they're securing their third place spot. No real prize for them, I don't believe, other than
No.
obviously the swag and all that. I mean, not,
Handshakes, aura.
yeah, we can't forget about that. That's a major aspect of why you would play here. But um, still, congratulations to our winners of the grand finals as well of this cup, and GG to everybody else that participated. Really, really nice to see a community cup like this sort of come to fruition with a lot of people excited to play, and we had some pretty solid matches here for it, just being sort of a newbie level ragtag sort of dealio, but. Um, yeah, still, thanks for all the teams for, making sure that everybody was on their rosters, showing up for these matches, playing a lot of TF2 back to back to back on these cup days. Um, Much appreciated as well to the staff as well, James for running this whole thing and adminning as well. Fireside for kicking in. Appreciate you, Antlers, as well for always supporting us with the Fireside.
Of course, glad to be here.
Yeah, I mean, and thanks for all the casters that chipped in as well. I know it was sort of a revolving door in terms of casters today, but big shout out to everybody that has helped make this possible, as it would not be possible at all without the community. Um, so yeah, overall, great cup. I hope that we see more events like this in the future.
Of course. And with that, I have to say, I think that's going to be it for our cast tonight.
I think so.
Uh, Glad everyone made it here for both the grand finals and the lower bracket finals that were casted just now. GG to all teams that participated in the event. And I think I'll see myself out.
And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great evening, and hopefully we'll see you soon with some more playoffs action coming soon, right? That's a fun thing to look
Oh,
forward
absolutely. That
here.
is the next Fireside motion. It's
I'm so
happening
excited to
for
do
the
these
RGL
playoffs
playoff
matches.
season.
So anybody that's still in playoffs, make sure you're still practiced up because you might just be getting commentated here. Um,
That
Definitely
might be
going to be
me.
focusing in on a lot of these top teams getting near the end of the season. So yeah, again, thank you to everybody for showing up. Big shout out all the players, all the teams, and everybody who wrangled everybody together. I know how annoying that is with TF2 players. And yeah, until the next time.
Have a good night, everybody.